Guild Wars 2's open world is vast, with many different secrets and hidden areas to explore. Some locations are out of the way from where most people explore and require an inquisitive individual to find their way there. Other locations require you to complete a special puzzle in order to gain access to the area beyond, and some locations are even hidden in plain sight. So let's go over what I think are the 10 best hidden locations across Tyria. Coming in at number 10 is this Bandit cave in the Harathi Hinterlands. Honestly, shout out to all the Bandit caves in the game. They all have great atmospheres and it's a nice RPG/exploration element in the game, but this one in particular is my favorite Bandit cave in the game. It's hidden on the western side of Harathi Hinterlands near the ruins of Holy Metrica. The only important part of this cave is that inside of it is a cabbage patch, but there are no map completion objectives directing you here, and it's a tiny bit out of the way from any other map completion objectives given that its entrance is in a little bit of a valley. There are a few bandits guarding the entrance and a door that you can open and close. Upon entering the hideout, you find the cabbage patch and also a very beautiful view with sunlight beaming into the cavern, a small waterfall leading into a creek, and also another door that you cannot access. As someone who really likes to immerse themselves into the world, I love wondering what is behind this door, and I also really enjoy locations like this in the game. Locations that aren't really important, but add a ton of flavor to the game. And in the number 9 spot, we have the inspiration behind this video. In the assurance starting zone of Metrica province at the very start of the map, we have the giant lock. On the eastern side of the lock, we have waterfalls that bring water from further south into the lock. Many people know how cool this area is with the underground research base, the small jumping puzzle over the edge of the lock here, and the giant Assurant lab hidden nearby that is only accessible via Assurant Gate. But what many people don't know is that there's actually a cave here. If you swim down into the lock right below this jumping area, you can actually swim into an underwater tunnel and come up into a cave. Located inside is a small inquest base with an event that has you fighting a crazy inquest researcher. I also learned through my Let's Play series that you come here in the Assurant personal story for one mission, a mission that I had never done until recently. And of course, the cave itself is beautiful, with sun beaming in, some plants, and some waterfalls. I had no idea this place existed. I had a friend who doesn't play video games try out Guild Wars 2, where she customized an Assurant character and then explored the world a little bit. In her short journey, she stumbled upon this place, and I was awestruck because she found a brand new location in this game that I had never seen in 10 years of playing. And honestly, this is one of my favorite parts about exploration in this game. There are so many cool and unique places, and after over 10 years of playing, I know I still haven't discovered everything. Coming in at number 8 is the Lion's Shadow Bed and Breakfast. This is a really cool location in Lion's Arch that has changed over the years. This bed and breakfast is owned by Norn by the name of innkeeper Ayla. In the original Lion's Arch, she owned a location in eastern Lion's Arch known as the Lion's Shadow Inn. This location was a pretty basic spot that was just like an ordinary tavern, but was a good option for people who enjoy role-playing in a tavern atmosphere. With the destruction and subsequent reconstruction of Lion's Arch, the inn was lost and Ayla was out of business. However, there was another building known as Yang Ison's estate. This was an important location for people who are members of the Order of Whispers for chapter 6 of the personal story, where the quick summary is that the owner died and now the building is abandoned. With the reconstruction of Lion's Arch, innkeeper Ayla purchased the property that was once an estate and turned it into what we know now today as the Lion's Shadow Bed and Breakfast. And while some people watching might think that Ayla has reopened her business, and while that may be correct, they might be surprised to see that Ayla has changed her business plan a little bit, where the bed and breakfast is now a location of a nightclub and is used as a front for black market dealings. Anyone who comes up to the door of the bed and breakfast might learn that the door guard will not talk to you during the day, but if it is night, you will get a prompt to give the door guard a password to enter the establishment, and giving the correct password will grant you access to explore this area. In the number 7 spot is a little bit of a general answer, and that is all of the Order of Whispers secret bases. Anyone who has played through Guild Wars 2, especially as a member of the Order of Whispers, will have discovered all of the different outposts and hideaways the Order of Whispers have around Tyria. Most prominently is the outpost in Lion's Arch, as well as the Chantry of Secrets, but there are a lot more than that, and all of them are really cool. The Order of Whispers is just a really good vibe for people who like spy and stealth stories and themes, and all of the different bases really reinforce that vibe. I want to highlight 2 that are super cool, and I would wager that most people don't know about them. The more well known of the 2 is the outpost located at Snowdrift Haven and Snowden Drifts. This haven and the entire area around it, especially this bridge, is really cool. But located underneath the haven with an entrance on the side of the mountain is a very small Order of Whispers operation. Located inside is some supplies, some tables, and even a printing press. There's also a secret door that will take you into the valley below the haven, where you will often find the start of an event involving the Order of Whispers. The less well known of the two outposts is located further south in Lornar's Pass, located at Gutra's homestead. If you are a member of the Order of Whispers, and only if you are a member, you can examine the door and press an emblem to enter the building. You can then find an unlit sconce on the fireplace, which pulling will reveal a secret passage into this underground Order of Whispers base. This spot is just so cool, not only because the cave and outpost itself is interesting, but the way you get in is super fun. Additionally, this area serves as a nice place for members of the Order of Whispers who are in the area to hide out at, sell some supplies, and reinforce their armor before heading back out on an adventure. Coming in at number 6 is the Tears of Itlaocol mini dungeon. This one is pretty well known, but it would pain me not to put it on the list because of how cool this place is. This is probably one of my favorite mini dungeons and one of my favorite maps in the game. To walk you through this mini dungeon, you first enter it by picking up a boulder and throwing it at this gong, which will open up the door to this location. You then have to run through a gauntlet of angry Hylic and a bunch of traps to eventually reach a really cool location where the primary puzzle is. In this room, you have to place the Tears of Itlaocol on the various pressure plates on the floor in order to match it with the symbols on the giant statue head looking down upon the room. Upon making 4 successful matches, the final door will open and you have completed the mini dungeon. Not only is this a pretty fun puzzle, which is still decently fun after you figure it out for the first time, the entire area here is really pretty and unique. On top of that, the theme of this mini dungeon is super cool because it involves a Hylic who we don't see much love for in the game, and it is also a very mysterious location that we don't know too much about, and it might be a good foundation for a story in the future. Coming in at number 5 is a little bit of an interesting location because it is this sunken ship located in the Gilded Hollow Guild Hall. The guild halls, especially the two introduced with the Heart of Thorns expansions, are super cool areas for people who love to explore. You can spend a very long time in these maps and find a bunch of super cool locations. Honorary shout out to how far up you can climb in the Gilded Hollow and everything you can find up there. But this pirate ship is probably my favorite spot for me. It's in an area of the guild hall that most people don't tend to go to. There's nothing really around it except it is in the center of the guild hall, so people that do some casual exploring of the place oftentimes miss it, because a lot of people tend to just do a lap around the perimeter of the guild hall and call it good. The ship itself is cool, but also really interesting because it looks like a Lion's Arch flag is on the ship, and the ship made it all the way here to the heart of Meguma. If you go inside, there's a ton of gold and other cool decorations. Overall, just a nice small detail to a location that a lot of people don't explore. In the number 4 slot is an area where a couple achievements actually take you to, and that is this hidden statue of the god Abaddon in the Desolation. Located in the northeastern corner of the Desolation, you can access this area by using a jackal and jumping through a sand portal. You will be teleported to this pretty cool chamber, and at the center of the chamber is a giant statue of Abaddon, the fallen god of knowledge and water. There really isn't too much to say about this area, except it's beautiful and hidden away very well. I just like it a lot. It definitely helps that I love Abaddon and all the lore and story surrounding him a lot. The coolest part about this room is the Easter egg that is related to the achievements that I mentioned before, where you can /kneel before the statue in order to get an achievement, and then you can /dance before the statue to get another achievement, and also receive the Judgment of Abaddon. And in the number 3 slot is this area in the Lamprey Grottoes in the Iron Marches. This is a really cool spot that is home to members of the Soot Warband alongside a bunch of tanks. The super cool thing going on here is that there's a mini game that you can do in order to unlock a special reward. You can repair a tank, and upon successfully repairing the tank, you become an honorary member of the Warband and unlock the Iron's Tailpipe Bandana. This is a special headpiece item which, in my opinion, is nothing too special but can be great if you're looking for a headpiece like this for your outfit. But it is so cool that there is this random area in the world where you can come and complete a random minigame to unlock a special skin that is only available by completing this random minigame in this random area. I love stuff like this so much, and I wish there was more of this going on in the game. Unlocking special rewards through the game, especially through exploration, is one of my favorite things in games. And this area itself is pretty cool. I actually had no idea this existed until several years after the game released, where when I found out about it, I rushed here to complete the minigame and get my special skin. Coming in at number 2 is the hidden strawberry patch in Diessa Plateau. This is probably one of the most beautiful spots in the entire game and definitely one of my favorite locations. In the town of Nolan, you can find a small jumping puzzle near the vista here. By working your way up to an exposed pipe, you can run through the pipe and find a large clearing with waterfalls pouring into the area and a large strawberry field in the center. The strawberries, beyond being beautiful, do serve a purpose as you can harvest them and use them in crafting. This entire area here is just gorgeous, and it is hidden away in a very cool way where most people passing by miss this area. This spot is extra special for me because my fiance and I like to come here to take screenshots of our characters together. I mean, the spot as a whole is kinda romantic with all the candles, the light rays, and everything else. I even featured the spot in the video that we made together. It was also fun to bring her here for the first time because she was so confused on where we were going and then was in awe about how beautiful this area is. A reaction similar to my first time seeing this place all those years ago. And now for the number 1 spot. This might be the most iconic hidden location in the entire game, which seems kind of counterintuitive. A hidden spot is not supposed to be super well known, but I thought because of how important this area is for the Guild Wars 2 community and how this might be my favorite hidden location in the game, I had to add it to this list. And that spot is, of course, this little balcony at the Starbower Nursery. Okay, I'm just joking. It's a little cave off of Garden Route Tunnel. Okay, this might have just been me taking an opportunity to point out how many cool little spots there are in the Grove. The actual number 1 spot is the hidden cave located in the bottom level of the Grove. I'm willing to bet that most people who think about hidden areas in Guild Wars 2 think about this location. And if you have never seen this spot before, I am so happy that you get to experience it for the first time here in this video. This spot is just beautiful. Honestly, it is one of my favorite spots in the entire game. Many people, including myself, like to come here to take screenshots of their character. I've even included it in videos on my channel before. This is also a really cool spot to just hang out in. Back in the day, this is one of the primary spots that my guild came to have guild meetings. I have so many memories of this place, and it is just so iconic. Almost everyone absolutely loves this spot, and this area holds a special place in many people's hearts. And I think this area just really encapsulates the idea of hidden locations in Guild Wars 2. There are a lot of really cool areas and secrets hidden around the world of Tyria. Many are important for various achievements or unlocking special items, like some that have been shown on this list, but some are there just for the purpose of exploration. A special reward for those who take their time to explore every corner of the world. A beautiful location for those who steer away from the selected path of map completion and ask themselves, I wonder what's in this random pond in the edge of the Grove. And that's my list. With so many different locations around Tyria, there were too many to choose from. My primary motivator for this specific list was really what was most important, memorable, and iconic to me. Because of that, I'm sure that everyone's lists are very different than mine. If there was a hidden location in Guild Wars 2 that you really think should have been on this list, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'm sure there are some spots that I have never explored, but I have spent a ton of time exploring the world of Tyria and have seen a lot in my adventures. I would honestly be impressed if anybody showed me a location that I have never been to yet. And on top of everything else, I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.